see a large building which was formerly the Metropole Hotel. When it was built in 1898, it was the first iron-framed building in Whitby, and the first in the town to have electricity. Although it's since been converted into luxury flats, the original Victorian ballroom has been preserved. Looking down Ladysmith Avenue on the right is the Saxonville Hotel, home for about 6 years to the writer Margaret Storm Jameson. At the far end you'll see the grandstand of Whitby Town Football Club, who are also known as the Seasiders. Just before we turn left at the roundabout, take a look straight ahead down Station Avenue. At the end you'll see a low red brick building which was once Westcliff Station. Ahead on the right are two three-storey houses. The long bottle-shaped window in each house manages to give light to 3 floors, yet remaining one window. In 1796, the government of William Pitt brought out a tax on the number of windows you could have, showing that stealth taxes are no new thing. People who couldn't afford to pay the tax, or those who preferred not to, tended to brick their windows up. There were, however, ways of getting round the tax, as demonstrated by these two houses. The next stop is for Panett Park, where you can alight for the excellent children's playground, the Panett Art Gallery, Whitby Museum and the Leisure Centre. When leaving the bus, please remember to take all your belongings with you. As we go round the roundabout, we'll travel down Shipbuilding Road, built in 1886, and on the left is Panett Park. Panett Park is named after Robert Elliott Panett, a solicitor who served the town as a councillor, alderman and justice of the peace, as well as supporting many charities. He bought Chub Hill Estate, which was then Market Gardens, and arranged in his will for it to become the public park it is today. He also left provision for a building to be erected there to house his collection of art. Coming up on the left, look out for Whitby's floral clock, originally installed in 1953 to mark the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. After a while, it became a normal flower, but in 2006, the Friends of Panett Park raised enough money to have the clock reinstated. On the corner to your right is Arundel House Hotel. This was owned by many generations of the shipbuilding family, the Campions. Sailmaking and rope making were essential industries within the shipbuilding trade in the 1800s. On the left-hand side of Arundel House, there's a little road leading to a tunnel through which is an area once known for its sailmaking. We're now heading up Prospect Hill. Please be aware of the low branches if you're sitting upstairs. The original owners of the large houses on the right would have enjoyed an excellent view or prospect of Whitby. In the last garden on the right before the junction stands a Chilean pine tree, more commonly known as a monkey puzzle. The mineral jet comes from the fossilised remains of the tree. Jet, once the centre of a big industry in Whitby in the 19th century, can be found along the coast near to Whitby. Soon be approaching Newbridge, where there's a great view of the town on your left. We cannot stop on the bridge, but we'll go as slow as we can, so please have your cameras at the ready. You'll be able to take in the view along the River Esk towards the harbour and the North Sea. Towering over it all are the ruins of the Abbey. used as a place of public execution. The bodies of the condemned would not be taken down in a hurry, in the hope that the sight of their fate would deter other potential criminals. Coming up on the left, the white building is Whitehall, the old residence of the Turnbull Shipbuilding family. The Turnbulls could look from their front window to the shipyard below. During the Second World War, the house became a school until it was shut in 1985. We're about to cross Spittal Bridge, built in the 1930s. The original bridge is on the left. It was named after a leper isolation hospital which stood nearby from 1109 to 1539. This point is thought to have been the first landing place of the Saxons who settled here. During World War II, the bridge's arches were used as air raid shelters. We're now commencing the steep climb up Green Lane. Please be aware of low branches if you're sitting upstairs. Green Lane was known locally at one time as Hurst Road or Corpse Road. It was the route taken by the rich to get to the church graveyard in horse-drawn carriages. The Tour de Yorkshire cycle race also passed along this route. Whitby Regatta is one of the oldest sea regattas in the country. It's been entertaining crowds for over 170 years. Regatta Weekend runs annually in August and includes yacht racing, rowing races, street stalls and entertainment. Whitby Goth Weekend, started in 1994, has grown into one of the world's Whitby Abbey, first founded by King Oswy of Northumbria in AD 657 as a monastery for men and women. It was here in AD 664 that a meeting took place between the synod and opposing parties. At the meeting, many religious decisions were made, including the fixing of the date of Easter. In about AD 867, the abbey was ransacked and almost completely destroyed by Vikings. It wasn't until around 1070 that the Normans re-established a monastic community here. The remains that you can see mostly date from a later building, erected in about 1220. Like most monastic establishments in the country, Whitby Abbey was dissolved by Henry VIII in 1539. It then passed into the hands of the Cholmondeley family and gradually fell into disrepair, battered by the weather over the centuries, and even suffering direct hits from the German Navy in the First World War. Since 1984, the Abbey has been in the care of English Heritage. Abbey House, a large building to the left of the Abbey, was built by the Cholmondeley family using stones from the Abbey. It is now the home of Whitby Youth Hostel. A tea room is run behind the nearby Abbey Visitor Centre, which houses an interactive exhibition and where audio guides are available. Please alight here for the Abbey Ruins and Visitor Centre, St Mary's Church and the Youth Hostel. Please remember to take all your belongings with